And we're live. Are we?
Really?
Yeah. Get 1 minute. Whatever.
Okay.
Filler. On the top.
On the shadows, burning down the sorrows, shine your every night, looking for a savior to come. Looking for a city where we'll never die. There's a sacred yours, there's a sacred life.
1 minute.
Shout out to Mortal Free Fair.
Oh yeah. Jug band, dude. Okay, sorry. Fade 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to On the QT Quarantine Talk. Jensen Lentz in Southeast Portland, off exit 17, Foster Road, up 205. I don't know. I feel like that sounds like a radio station. Off the exit 17. So I was going to print out notes, so I ordered ink off of Amazon. I ordered all the colors, and that was all the colors, but not black's not a color. I forgot. So it's special order. So I will be getting that on Sunday for next week. So that's my life now. So, anything you guys say?
I've got lots of stuff to say.
Let's see. I'll have my little photo, my screenshot here. So, okay, back to the lecture at hand. We are down in the basement. This is our temporary wall situation, and we're getting paneling installed tomorrow. So we can put everything together and be done with all the projects.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
No.
We had carpet installed last week.
Yes, last weekend.
Yeah, it still smells like new carpet smell. Good.
I like new carpet smell, and the steps are quiet now.
And even though they plop down the stairs, they have like a weird like cadence walking down the stairs. It drives me absolutely nuts. I'm like, just get down here, and then they jump. Like, don't jump. That's my life.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a diet cock and bull ginger ale and Woodford Reserve in my recyclable metal straw. How about you?
Iced tea.
What's the recipe?
It is 2 tea bags of red rose tea, and then I add 1 tea bag of Constant Comment.
Constant Comment, you say? I keep talking about that. Is anybody new? Let us know in the comments. Also, let us know where you're tuning in from. So we're gonna go through our. Oh, hi, baby Ace.
Hi, Ace.
Hope you go to bed soon.
It was fun watching you swim the other day.
He was having a blast. It was awesome. I was like, this is why we have a pool. We used our pool maybe 10 days this summer.
Maybe. Well,
we had to force the kids to use it, pry them off of the video games.
We've been under construction for over 4 months, so it's hard to get out and you have open to the world, like everybody could see in, because we didn't have a fence for a while.
Relax.
Yeah.
There's like snow fence, like everyone can see in.
So
I took this week off to enjoy it, and that backfired. Bad choice of words. Yeah, I was gonna hang out and just do light projects, and decided that I ended up going back to work a couple days earlier because I was not gonna be having that. So, are you bored?
No. I was, however, sick the whole damn week. So
details, no details.
I can share some details.
Okay. Go ahead.
Last Saturday, we ate at a favorite restaurant of ours. Josh and I did, and I noticed that my salad tasted different.
Twangy or something?
It wasn't really. I couldn't tell. I just thought that they put the wrong dressing on it. They've done that in the past by accident. And I thought, oh, this is different. Well, whatever they did to the salad, it was not good. Because the next day, oh Lord, the number threes, as Josh likes to call it,
Poop emoji.
and crazy fever.
Crazy fever.
Yeah, crazy fever all the week long, off and on, every day. I was running a fever up to 103, 104. So I'm kind of panicking, thinking, I got the COVID. Had a video conference call with my doctor. Well, one of my doctors, a doctor in his department. There, that's it. She's kind of like my backup doctor. And that was Thursday.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday? No, Thursday. When did we go to the ER?
Yeah, Thursday night.
Thursday. I've totally lost track of the week.
Friday morning at 3 a.m. went to bed.
Yeah. So Thursday, talked to her. She said, do this and this and this. And I was trying to do that. I was trying to hydrate as much as I could.
I was like, want anything to drink? You don't like making people drink.
And
Hydrate.
I just couldn't eat anything. I couldn't drink anything really. It was really hard to keep things down. I did have a COVID test on Friday. It is negative. Yay. Sorry. I'll keep
Shaking.
It's quit touching the table. But it was just really crazy. And Josh ended up taking me to the ER because I was so dehydrated that I really needed some fluids pumped in me. And it was an experience, I gotta say. But I was a different person walking in and walking out.
You had the Mariah Carey disease where you get dehydrated and you have to go to the hospital because she had exhaustion.
Oh.
That's why I call it Mariah Carey disease.
Oh, I see. When you made that joke the other night, I was like,
90s reference?
what the fuck ever. I didn't give a shit. I didn't really give a shit about much that night. But I just wanted my head to stop hurting. And a couple hours later, I'm walking out feeling good and like, oh, I could eat something. So that was good. I learned a trick about Gatorade. If you're prone to dehydration like me, to do 1 scoop for a pitcher if you do the powdered Gatorade, because it's sugar, not high fructose corn syrup, and I tend to also need the sugar. And so 1 scoop of that to a pitcher of water, and that really was a good way to get me hydrated and stay hydrated. And I'm been drinking lots of Gatorade and lots of iced tea, and it was like really scary, and so glad that's over and feeling somewhat normal now.
Baseline, we'll call that.
Yes, baseline.
We're never normal in this house. So yeah, I had to force him to eat like a cracker and a half so he could take ibuprofen. So then after that wasn't working, I was like, okay, let's just take him to the emergency room because it said his head was pounding. So it said it could be something bad, but it was not. Hopefully.
So this is on top of, Oregon, the West Coast, it's on freaking fire. So let's add that stress on to being sick and,
Not only was it on fire, but we were in the pre-notice. Like we were 2 miles north of where the first, we call it the get ready.
Level 1.
Yeah.
Level 1 evacuation.
The get ready, just get ready, set, go. We were like we're 2 miles north of the get ready. So we were ready. I went a little nuts at the Dollar Tree, which I always do. We have enough garbage food for about a 24-hour road trip in the car now, in case we get stuck in the car somewhere. So we're ready.
And water and whatnot. And so this week with the my illness and
fire.
with the stress of everything, I think if anybody saw like my Facebook post, I did post this story about our neighbor's house catching on their shed catch on fire a few months ago, and it scared the heck out of Luther, and he was paralyzed in their hallway.
He's like running in circles around him. He's just like standing in the middle of a tornado going.
Yeah. Well, he was crying too. You know, he was crying, standing in the hallway, not knowing what, just didn't handle it well. And that goes back to his trauma and everything pre us. And I'm like, this is like really severe. We weren't in danger when our neighbor's
It was
shed
a good lesson.
Yeah, when our neighbor's shed was on fire, we weren't in danger. But we could be in danger now. How is he going to react? So, you know, put on my best foot forward and mustered up a few hours of let's get the van ready.
Boy Scout time.
Yeah, Boy Scout time. Be prepared. And, you know, just to help calm his nerves and tell him, this is what you have to do. This is what you're responsible for. Grab your blanket, grab your pillow, grab your stuffed animals. You get out. We'll get the dog in the van. You're responsible for watching the dog and just sitting in the van. That's all you have to do.
That would be very helpful.
You know, we couldn't have him freaking out on top of us trying to stay calm in front of them, not freaking out while we're secretly freaking out.
Too busy to freak out.
Yeah. So it's just been a week, and very, very stressful week for us, for a lot of our friends. We know a lot of people who have been displaced. There's been lots of death by these fires. Lots of towns that we've driven through, or Josh is very familiar with growing up, that are completely wiped out. And it's just really, really, it's sad. And, you know, we need to really focus on what the issue is, and it is climate change. It is.
How do we get there from that?
Oh, well, the fires, West Coast and stuff. Because like in the 80s, they were saying,
is it rant time? Sorry.
I guess it is.
I wasn't ready for this. I have my own format.
Well, I've got my own format. So in the 80s, they were, you know, talking in California. I read this thing today about in California. They were like, oh, climate change or global warming is what they called it then. And, you know, they were saying, this is what we got to do, or this is going to happen. And we have had a series of politicians who have done nothing or not enough. We have way over half the country that is not educated enough on climate change. You know, the old dumb jokes from people I know. Well, the climate changed the other day. It was raining and now it's not. It changed. You know, that's bullshit. Get your head out of your ass, people. Come on. People are dying. Our country is on fire. If you're worried about babies and, you know, fetuses and all this stuff that the Republicans are freaking out about, you know, that with identity politics, if you're worried about that, then worry about the life and what kind of life that fetus is going to have in a world of like several degrees higher. I know I'm ranting.
Why did they word?
I'm getting the eye from Josh, but holy cow, it all goes hand in hand. If you're worried about children, non-born children, then you need to be worried about their world, what they're going to be when they're in their 80s. You want to be worried about the whole life, not just the birth. And we have to think globally. This is affecting all of us, and we need to make better decisions. And you know, we just need to do better.
I was excited when, in a Pollyanna way, I was like, oh, with COVID, that means a lot of less environmental impact will be happening because people are traveling less and less consumption.
And it was true.
And then boom, forest fire. I posted it yesterday. Damn you, nature.
but there were, at the beginning of COVID, there were lots of good environmental things happening. As was it Daniel Bramsky who was talking about, you know, like nature's had some time to heal, and that really resonated with me because I believe it's true. Like, you know, the world did have a little bit of time to heal, but we got to continue. I've always been a tree hugger, always. It's not nothing new. It's not, I'm more liberal now than I used to be. No, I'm more vocal about my liberalism now than I used to be. You know, when you leave Indiana, you can be more vocal about your real feelings. So that's enough of that rant. I did want to add one more thing about something I learned this week about fevers and body piercings.
PSA, y'all. PSA.
If you have body piercings and you have a really high fever
104.
for several days, your body piercings can hurt. And it's because of the fever and the dehydration, and also the environment we're in with all the smoke and stuff. That's also a contributing factor. So if your nipple rings or your whatever down there's,
Body piercings are down.
yeah,
I guess, but not the ears.
you know, anywhere, I suppose, not the ears, but anywhere else. If they're aching, it's because you either got a fever or it's smoky. So
use Dr. Bronner soap for everything. To start.
yeah, but fight the fevers. Stay hydrated.
So what's our pop culture history? 20 years ago? Was it 20 years ago?
30
years ago.
30 years ago.
What was it?
This was years.
Oh, so Wilson Phillips' Hold On for One More Day was number 1 30 years ago. That's embarrassing in so many levels.
Yeah. And haven't we been holding on for that one more day?
Ooh. It made a comeback for Bridesmaids, which is kind of funny. So
I did like that song a lot.
I didn't like it till like it was retro and ironic, I guess. Was it ironic to begin with?
Well, I just think, you know, because of it's kind of like, you know, rock and roll royalty, you know.
I had no idea what that was at the time, but now I do.
Yeah. With, you know, with John and Michelle.
Beach Boys and Mamas and Papas smash up.
Yeah. With all that. It's, you know, I was into it because I liked Mamas and Papas, and I used to love the Beach Boys. So.
What else you got?
What else are we gonna?
Fever and piercings.
Okay, fever and piercings, week-long illness.
Toner cartridge fail. I've been watching.
Pop culture.
I've been watching. What did we watch last night? Fascinating.
2 really fascinating documentaries. One was about Slim Adams. Is that his name? Slim Adams, yeah, a photographer for like Life and Town and Country and a couple other things. Plus, also he's a photographer for the military during World War II. Fascinating, and some amazing photos that he took.
That Century Americana.
Yeah, that apparently were so influential with, you know, interior design and visual design and clothing. You know.
Ralph Lauren came sprouted from that.
Yeah, lots of designers came from.
It was all about privilege too. They totally like owned that, which was
it was
a little bit better, I think.
Yeah. So, really good documentary on that, and then we watched this documentary on Frank Sinatra in Palm Springs. Fascinating. I did not know he was such a philanthropist and would, like, everybody was talking about just how generous he was. I found that really fascinating and thought that was really cool because you also often hear the, you know, the wow, the kind of Frank Sinatra. So that was cool to hear.
They mentioned that only like 1 or 2, like maybe 2 minutes. Other than that, they were saying he was super nice. They said in his original house that he threw a champagne bottle or something in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it cracked the sink, and it's still there, like as a, what do you call it?
Urban legend.
Yeah, or memento.
Yeah, it was like he was having a fight with his second wife, Ava Gardner, the fabulous Ava Gardner, and I guess their fights were wicked. When we were down in Palm Springs a few years ago, we got
2018, February 11th.
We got a really cool tour with Matt.
Hurwitz?
Yes, and he gave us some dirt about it. Well, not really dirt, but just, you know, comment.
The insider tour.
Yeah, the insider tour of Palm Springs. And I read a lot about old Hollywood and whatnot. I'm really fascinated by it. And, you know, it was kind of cool to see the house that, like, Ava Gardner would, like, and Ava and Frank lived in. And then we got to see Lena Horne's house, and that's where Ava go and hide when she was mad at Frank. And, like, you know, you could just envision all this drama of these 2 powerhouse celebrities that both had, like, larger than life egos. So just really, really fascinating.
It was good. It was a good movie. It was also cool to see all the old timey restaurants, stuff like that we've been by. So I want to go back to Palm Springs now and look at it again.
I really want to.
That was supposed to be our recurring winter trip for Valentine. Wait, was it anniversary?
What? Don't try to.
Anniversary times.
Don't.
Anniversary times day. So it's our anniversary is the 15th of January. My birthday is the 11th of February, and 4th of July. And the fireworks happen on Valentine's Day. So it was gonna be like the mashup. What do you call it? Conglomerate. That's why I like to do parties, mash everything together. So we were supposed to go there every February, but now with cheer-ins and COVID's, not so much.
Yeah, I haven't got to do anything.
Yeah. But that's why we decided to upgrade our backyard because we're making it Palm Springs. And we have 3 months of awesomeness here. We want to be on the property and enjoying it instead of out climbing. Of course, we doing adventures as well. But
well, also we want to be able to have the time to do adventures and enjoy the property. So we had to do a lot of upgrades and eliminating work. Make things easier so that when we are doing work on the house, it's more efficient and we can get things done quicker and it's less work for everybody involved.
And there's also less mud in the house because the backyard's like half paved now. So we'll see how the kids react to that because I'm sure they'll find a way to bring mud in the house. They were like, we take away all their toy guns. We take away anything that could hurt somebody. So they go in the backyard and grab random parts of construction like elbows or stuff from the conduit. And they're just like, pew, pew, pew. I'm just like, okay. When I was a kid, I could even finger guns at people. I was like told that was not okay. I'm totally okay with people owning weapons. That's fine. But when I was a kid, it was an etiquette thing. So
yeah, but our kids present as black. So they shouldn't be doing that. We've all read the news headlines in the past about what happens.
So we had some little chaos last night, and Dominic went and grabbed his bright white spinning rifle. Is that what it's called?
Yes, you said spinning.
I was like twirling.
He's always saying twirling, and it's spinning.
So he grabbed his white rifle and was like, you can't pull a obviously fake gun on somebody.
Yeah.
Even though I had a fake gun. Like it was a BB gun, so it was real.
We had a long conversation about the importance of gun safety.
It was totally after school special.
And proper gun
Gather
usage
around.
Because you only pull out a gun when you intend to use it.
PSA.
I want to jump over to pop culture. Something I'm very proud of. I have never seen 1 minute of the Kardashians,
right.
And I am like super stoked that they're going away. Maybe we'll never have to hear them again. I think they're trash and car trashings. Yeah, I just don't.
Our band is sorry.
I don't get the hype. It's like, and from what I gather, because I really don't know, it's just a bunch of really rich, spoiled people having real first world problems, which I think is funny because a lot of our friends will say, because we live in America, it's like, oh, first world problems. So we have these first world problems, like,
Wi-Fi
like,
going down.
Yeah. Got a flat tire. Oh, I'm out of gas. Their first world problems is like, oh, I've got a gas bubble. They don't have problems. They're idiots and they need to go away. And nobody should ever.
Didn't they mention them in like the Hollywood stuff we watched recently? Like how I think they mentioned it in the photography documentary because they're saying how like back then like the elite was like grace and class and philanthropy and then helping out, and then the Kardashians just like, here we are with these breaking the internet with their big booty Spanx on or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember that meme? That was like way long ago. Remember that?
I think so. Glad they're going away.
So I have a little bump on my nose because I was helping moving some of the excess yard construction debris, and Dominic was helping me. And it was one of the large wrought iron guardrails that we had, which we're removing. It's kind of sad, but we don't need it anymore. We have plenty of other wrought iron. So yeah, I collected it. It's all gonna be for folks to use as handrails. Anyways, we're taking this. Anywho, we took this large guardrail out, and as we're carrying it out, I was holding a big piece, and it hit the fence, and boom, it hit, and I went, ouch. So that's why I have a bump on my nose. And Donald's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "No, that was all me." I was like, "Bonk." But he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." So what else you got?
I just have a couple shout outs.
No more Kardashians?
No more, that's it.
So shout outs would be to Melissa for this awesome network cable Ethernet cord. Right here, you can't see it. Anyways, that way you can have it hopefully for better connectivity and better refresh rate.
Shout out to Josie and Scott.
Anniversary.
Happy anniversary. 5 years. She's one of my besties. If you guys don't know, I had the honor of escorting her down. It wasn't an aisle. It was a pedestrian bridge over the Ohio River.
He says gorilla style. Remember? He's like gorilla wedding.
It was a gorilla wedding because you're not supposed to get married on this bridge on the Ohio River. And so it was like hush hush, and everybody just kind of met up there. And I escorted her up there.
It was a memorable moment. For sure.
It was. She's just a very, very important person in my life. So I'm very happy that she's happy. And
she can visit soon. Hopefully.
And her husband and her kid and their kid and all of that. They're just amazing, wonderful people. Like you're not going to ever probably find a better vibe from people.
Yep.
I can't say that.
They're a fam. They're fam.
We've got a lot of people that have great vibes in our lives, and we're grateful for that.
So time for listener questions or more shout outs?
Two more shout outs.
Wait for it.
Legacy Good Samaritan, thank you for
having hand sanitizer everywhere.
Everywhere. Just like the way they like handled it, like handled me, the people, everything. It was like really smooth, quick, in and out, professional, and I felt safe going there. And I also want to do a huge shout out to my husband because this was a really rough week for me, folks. And I got to say, Josh doesn't do a lot of cooking. And
Josh doesn't do a lot. I'm like, where's he going with this?
He stepped up and really made sure the boys were taken care of and they were on track with school. And he just let me do what I needed to do, which was like sleep and try to recover. And he took care of things that he's not used to taking care of here in the homestead. And I'm just so grateful because it was just, it's reinforcement that I made a really good decision when I finally said yes.
I married up.
That's not what I heard. That's not what I was told.
There's a whole other episode there.
Yeah, we can't talk about that. Anyway, so shout out to my husband.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I like putting the hammer down on the kids sometimes. Like, I don't have internet. I can't do my homework. This is lies.
So
yes, I'm all about the frozen pizzas when I'm in charge. Yeah.
Sustenance.
So we can go over the comments now.
Sure.
Okay. So that's the end of that for the main show.
Yes.
So, constant comment T.
Yes.
And Steve Waterbury's calling in from San Diego. So, like I said, we were 2 miles north of the Get Ready. What's it called? The
evacuation level 1.
Yes. So yeah, the smoke, Steve. The smoke is so bad. Whenever I go out to the yard, even to the car, I have to put the actual N95 mask on. That's also why I decided to re-strategize the facial hair because actually I need a good seal now. So
it's horrible. Like we haven't, other than opening our windows or our doors to go in and out. We're trying to like tell Luther quickly because he's like. Other than that, in
so
and out,
dramatic and slow. Like,
and we've really tried to limit entering and exiting today. You can smell it still in the house. So
when I came home from our errand, I was wearing this for about another hour or so because it was like I need some real air, and so we actually found. I spent about an hour and a half in the last 2 days to figure out where to buy air filters because we needed one anyways. So I found a place, Grainger.com. We're getting one on Monday. So we're getting 2 on Monday, so we'll have backup. And so if anybody has serious air problems in their what do you call it, domicile, let us know. Maybe we can put you up for a couple nights.
Oh, what else I forgot to say? If anybody
set up for you.
Oh, okay. If anybody needs a place to stay, that you might not have air conditioning or whatever, it's like you can hang out in our basement. We can quarantine upstairs. It's a mess because we're under renovation.
It's not like Airbnb. It's like backyard, a back room of Home Depot.
We have a fridge with a bunch of seltzers and some soda. You have a full bath and a really comfortable couch and TV.
255 inches. Two TVs, but you wouldn't watch the other one
because you can't because the garage is full.
Storage. So it's not very glamorous at this time.
But you can come and go. We'll give you a code. So if anybody really needs a place, please take us up on that. And also, I forgot to also mention, because of all the smoke and everything, they had reduced or no hours for giving out food at the schools yesterday. So if you know anybody that needs any food, hit us up. We're happy to drop off some food. Everybody in Portland, reach out to families that you might think might be in need, because the last thing anybody else needs is more freaking stress. So back to questions.
So Rick Aubrey wants to know what this is.
This?
Pick it up though. Go ahead, pick it up. You can.
It's a vintage cake.
It's coming up.
It's a vintage cake carrier.
This cake.
It's this cake. One of the.
Take it to the concert. Like, can you sign this for me? the band cake.
One of two or three that we have. We collect this vintage chrome stuff. Prefer Chromax, but if it's in good shape and a good deal, we'll get it.
Hooray! So yeah, we got a new cabinet here that we're not sure we like yet. He hates it, so
I don't hate it. I'm just. I think
it's reclaimed from a dentist office. I'm pretty sure.
We like reclaimed.
He still doesn't like what song? Hold on for one more day. We should do like our out song with like the top number one song of the 30 years ago. I guess we're such burnouts. We have to talk about it all the time. Hey, Boyd, thanks for the compliment.
Thank you, Boyd.
We're trying to get our groove on so we can actually be like a talk show, and we're going to up our production value soon once I get a, what do you call it? I'm going to call it a detached office. We're going to have a content cave where we can have a studio and make shows whenever we feel like it, and we can go in and rant about our lives whenever we feel like it. Hola, Jose. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, everyone what's in the mailbox? Danny Dixon's tuning in. Hey, Danny.
And yes, Fred, Matt is an amazing tour guide.
Matt. For what, though? I saw that, but I don't know what that means.
Palm Springs.
Oh, yeah, yes. I was like, tour guide, wait, what? Our messy house? That's all I can think of. Yeah, he was amazing. He gave us like the dirt and all the glam at the same time. It was good times. So it's better in Seattle than Portland today? Interesting.
Right? Fireworks. Last night, we had fireworks in our neighborhood, and apparently it did sound like gun fire.
Small arms fire out in the distance is what I call it.
Yeah, I heard it on Autumn's Ring camera. She posted it, and I was like, holy shit, it sounded like.
So she's like a mile west of here, and I heard it like it was. I thought it was like at the end of our block. I thought it was two M16s going at each other. That's what it sounded like. But then people started posting pictures of their aerials and their pictures of the, what do you call it? The pretty pollution.
We call it fireworks pretty pollution.
So Brian from Bend said Smokey there too. He's like, wants to know where's its distillery.
It is.
That's part of the tie-in for the wedding.
Oh yeah!
Fun fact.
Gosh! Fun fact. 5 years ago today, we were the bourbon tour outside of Louisville in Bardstown, Kentucky. It's one of the many bourbon distilleries that we stopped at. We really fell in love with it. It's hard to get this on the West Coast, but it was a very tasty small batch bourbon, and we really liked it. Also learned the history of Four Roses on that tour. If y'all get out there, it's really fascinating. Amazing part of the country. It's beautiful. Lots of history. Lots of bourbon.
The reason why it's so special there is because something about I call it the swampiness of the air. It creates a certain type of environment, also known as mold. Certain type of way. Actually, it cures it differently. So
yeah, it's the streams and humidity in the valleys there, with the offset of the corn mash and stuff, that the steam and whatnot. So there's like this black mold that covers everything down there.
looks like my shower before we had new one.
Yeah, but it's not that kind of black mold. It's not like bad black mold, apparently, because it's the only type. It's the only place in the world where this mold exists because of the whole chemistry of the mash. And
so the bourbon's only available. Only actual bourbon is only from Kentucky, Bourbon County. Looks like there's Bordeaux and Champagne only from this certain region. Even though it's like you can buy something that says in quotes like Portland whiskey, or Portland bourbon, Burnside bourbon. It's like it'd be like should be in italics or like have a little quote around it or something.
On that tour though, we went and had lunch at the second oldest continually running bar.
What was the name?
I forget.
Bardstown
Inn. Thanks. And what is fascinating about the Bardstown Inn, the creator of the NAACP was actually born in the kitchen. His mother was a kitchen slave, and she gave birth and had to go back to work like immediately after giving birth. Like she basically like plop, see a kid, I got to go work. And so the founder of the NAACP was born in that bar. I find it fascinating.
It's also a hotel and haunted.
Yeah, and it's haunted.
So Boyd says he went looking forward to seeing the cement. Yes, we're looking forward to having people over soon.
Yes.
Next year. Oh yeah, Shannon doesn't keep up with the Kardashians.
Good for you.
I appreciate people liking reality shows because they don't have a life of their own. Not to be that bitchy, but a little bit. But it needed to go away. Next time, Steve Thompson said they'll have bigger butts next time. That's their signature. So yeah, the only time I watched Kardashians was I was at the gym and it was like on the screen and I was only episode. I'm sure people follow it; they know all about this episode. I don't, but one of the guys got upset. He punched a hole in the mirror, and I'm just like, "Oh, it's awesome! I want to watch this dysfunction." Like, if you know you're being recorded, I'd be like, "Good evening, hello, I'm being recorded the entire time." Or do you want me to be a train wreck for ratings? Go be a train wreck. Okay, that's probably what they tell them to do, isn't it?
I guess. I don't know. Never watched Jersey Shore either.
So Lisa,
Aunt Lisa.
The Jersey Shore is up. The Jersey Shore was like 2 miles from my brother's house. Some of the people lived there, so. But he's not a part of that. GTL, Gym Tan Laundry. The reason why I know GTL is because my drink was green tea lemonade, and I always say I'd like a GTL, which was cool. Like last summer, I ordered it at Starbucks. Like, give me a GTL. They're like, I went there like last week. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, I was so down with the code. Not the same anymore. And Aubrey is not as it. I can show you the camera footage of me getting clobbered by wrought iron. It was like death by vintage. Oh yeah, Tony Diaz did some awesome work in our house. He helped with some the pre-construction stuff to get the helping with the plumbing and the electrical wiring.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a great help, and especially in a pinch because we're like, they're pouring tomorrow. And every time when they poured the concrete, I was very relieved because I was thinking of a bazillion ideas.
Because typical me and Josh fashion, Josh and I, we're looking at something and it's like, 24 hours before the contractors are going to do this. We're like, what if?
Cartoon brain.
Yeah. And so we had a what if moment, and Tony Diaz came and saved the day with that. So
yeah, I like put some stuff down. He actually made it a real thing. I made it like, here's a bunch of parts, and he made it happen. So it was great. So yeah, just like when we were doing the bathrooms upstairs, we're like, there's the shower downstairs underneath this drywall ceiling here. What if we had lights? Yeah, lights. Let's try the lights. And so we call it change order. I call it for the contractors. Like, here we go again.
yeah, the concrete guy really was.
Another shout out to Collective Concrete, Joey Martin, and also Metamorphosis contractor. Caesar and his wife Sherry, they're awesome. So we recommend them. Both of them. They're all great.
Everybody's been great.
Fred says a big four bridge.
Yes. And well, Fred would know that he's very familiar with.
Yes, that's his hoods. So yeah, I wasn't crying. I was just getting some of the fire ash in my eye. I was raised right. You were raised right. So yeah, this is a more compatible mask situation. So I don't have I feel like I always have a dreadlock on my face because the beard was not the right length. And this is the first time I shaved in 3 months. What is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't been like lazy or avoiding it, but it's like there's like a million other projects happening, and also where's my razor? So I ordered more razors. They haven't come yet, but I found one. So I was going really slow. Don't cut myself because I want to have 2 marks on my face. PlayStation 2 draw distances. I don't know what that means, Ted, but what's that mean?
I don't. Well, you know,
when it says PS2, he like checks out of the conversation.
It's like TV show. What?
No, PlayStation 2.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just like me referencing the Kardashians. What? I don't know what you're
yes,
talking
boy,
about.
by all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how much I love that.
Luther.
Oh, that's exactly what you're doing. We should do that from now on.
Oh, we should.
We watch that movie probably twice a month. We just The Devil Wears Prada. It's like our we want to watch nothing. Okay, put that on.
Put it on, and we'll do projects and listen to it.
Yeah.
You know, when you don't want to.
And then it's like Working Girls is number 2, probably.
Oh yeah.
Don't make me sing it. He's like, I'm not gonna. They're smoking LA. Steve says also. I guess the whole West Coast is like messed up. Fred wants to know where you find the K95s. What's that?
K95s.
I don't know what that means. So yes. It's not a fancy rice cooker.
Did I say something?
From now on, I'll let you do the whole show. I'm just like the AD guy on the side. It's not a bum warmer.
Well, it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes you talk more. Sometimes I talk more.
That's what happens when I go, you do the itinerary. Like, you do it. Follow your bliss. So, but
well, I was in the shower and like, I need a piece of paper. I got to write an idea.
He's in the shower like, write this down, scribe.
We love you too, Melissa.
Yay, love you, Melissa. So, Naomi said something. I don't know what it was. Must be a thread
Oh.
here. Is there a thread here? Seeing thread. Opening thread. Processing. So, yeah, I made sure during our shows from now on, the kids have to go 1 hour internet free. It feels so good. I actually have everything in the house so I can be like, boop, turn it off. So they can't get to it. I don't know what Naomi said, but it must be awesome. Do not end my video. Okay. Well, I see it down. Let's see. Going the distance. The cake. Going for speed. Some of it north. So yeah, I guess the fireworks sound woke Melissa up because I texted her right away. Pretty Poison is not a band. I said Pretty Pollution for fireworks. Yes. So what's the Four Roses? Did you tell the Four Roses story though?
No. Did somebody ask?
Fred said it's Fred. Four Roses is the best, but it's a good story.
Oh, Four Roses is amazing bourbon.
Americana.
And it is Americana. Up through World War II, or past World War II, it was like the #1 selling bourbon in the world. The Times Square, was it?
The iconic photo of the Navy man
and the nurse when he's just kissing her. If you look at the photo and the advertisements in the building behind,
Times Square.
Yeah, Times Square. The premier advertising spot was Four Roses, so that's how iconic Four Roses was. Seagram's, yeah, Seagram's bought Four Roses, and they kind of like watered it down and made it crappy because they wanted to push their own brands and make them better. And
it also got bought by a Japanese company.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, wait for it.
So Four Roses kind of just like fell off the wayside, I guess. And then a Japanese company bought Four Roses because, at that time, after World War II, Japan was like really influenced by America, and so they had a love for Four Roses bourbon there, and they bought it, and they started putting money back into it, and like giving them the original Four Roses recipe back, and it's making a comeback, and it is very, very tasty stuff, and it is Americana, and it's kind of cool.
During Prohibition, it was the only liquor that was available. It was considered medicine. You're allowed to have 2 tablespoons 3 times a day. I'm like, that's kind of weird to put.
And it was in the White House
to
too.
put in your cereal. So, and there's also the blended one is one that's most common that you get off the shelf. That you have to go up the top shelf and get like the small batch stuff. So it's really good. And also when we were there, they gave us little rocks glasses with the Four Roses logo on it.
Well, if we bought the package.
We got the package, didn't we?
Yeah, bought the package, and we got a couple glasses.
4 shots for like $20.
Yeah. Very tasty, 4 different blends. And we actually used our Four Roses glass in our mouthwash decanter. So,
because I broke the other one.
I like this one better.
So Fred says it's a special limestone water from Bourbon County in Versailles. Is there a town called Versailles?
That I don't know.
It's probably Versailles. And
well, there's a Versailles in Indiana. Are you talking about that one?
I think he's talking about Bourbon County.
Okay.
So it's Bourbon having a terror. I don't know what that means, buddy. Too lazy to change the channel to watch Kardashians? No, I was at the gym when it was on, so.
I've never watched a lot of TV, to be honest.
A lot of TV?
I've never watched a lot of TV.
Oh, in general. Got it.
Yeah.
Hi, Norm. Thanks for tuning in. Gym tan laundry. Yeah, I don't tan, as you can tell. I don't do laundry. No offense. And I haven't done the gym in like 4 months at least. But Melissa loves the Jersey Shore because she knows it's trashy, and she watches it as from what do you call it, anthropology kind of. Look at the specimen. Oh, so the Rose Test Gardens are 10 miles from here, and they're safe. They're safe at the moment. They're totally safe at the moment. So.
I'm sure they're pretty, Shanna. So Shanna's throwing some shade because Shanna came out to visit and
in winter,
and I'm just like, what are we gonna do? It's winter and the kids have school, so I'm like, let's drive around and I know I'll take her to the Rose Test Garden, not thinking it's winter. So we get there.
Picture as far as the eye can see,
just thorns. No roses.
Is that a basketball team?
The Thorns. Not basketball. They're a soccer team. Okay. So it's a really good running joke with Shanna and us.
Boyd says we should watch the new Raised by Wolves. Well, I think our kids act like that sometimes. So yeah, Matt Raid said that reality TV ruined the world. Haha. So I
agree.
I started watching reality TV when it first came out. I watched Bachelor or Who Married a Millionaire, one of those, and it was like, this is the last episode, and I was like, okay, cool. And then it was like, okay, but wait, there's one more episode, and I was like, and I'm done with this concept forever. And that was 20 plus years ago. So not bad. So we're in our basement, about to be finished. Naomi asked again. She likes green tea lemonade. Say it in Southern. Versailles. Very village, people. It takes a village to raise a family. It takes a village, people. There are refreshments. So who's Andy Richter? Who's Conan? We're both the cute ones. So we're both Andy Richter. I have red hair, though. So,
well... And anytime I think Andy Richter, all I can think of is in the year 2000.
So when we first met, we had these weird inside jokes from like the same era of pop culture stuff. So there was this tragic barbershop on Woodstock called Hair 2000, which I'm sure they didn't think about the name when they named it in like 1989. They didn't think about it having a shelf life. Now it's condos, right?
Right. Silly condos.
Whenever we drive by, they were like, Hair 2000. So, yay. So Nathan said he did the horseshoe mustache. So yeah, it's my first time doing this.
Cool.
It's very N95 compatible. Steve says, look like the set of Bewitched. I take that as the highest compliment possible.
That's awesome.
Sing the song. The theme song for Bewitched.
Bewitched, 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 bewitched. He asked me one night. We were watching Bewitched, and he was just like, "What are the words?" So I started doing that.
I'm like, is it real? Yeah. Kept on going. I had hand motions.
And so whenever we watch Bewitched,
So
I sing the song.
it is pronounced Versailles in Kentuckiana. Or
Okay.
Kyin. Terroir, place. Taste of the place where it was made. Oh, it must be a bourbon thing. Because we're not, what French. I'm so confused with the conversations.
Oh, he's talking
Oh,
about the wine.
so it's wine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, got it. I need to float it. And Ted loved the Conan skit. That was dope.
It was great.
Hooray! So, any other shout outs? Hit us up.
PPS. I'm going to say PPS is doing a really good job keeping us informed of the school.
Overly informed. So we have a joint email account for the kids. Of course, I have like 3 email accounts. He's probably got 3, something like that. So it's like our joint account. So when Dominic and Donovan get emails, we get 4 of them, and text messages too. It's awesome.
Yeah.
God bless them, because like last year it was kind of like, what's happening now? It's like, oh, they have assignment due. He turned it in. Great. Like we have this.
Yeah,
We get.
we get a text assignment due tomorrow, and I love that.
We probably get 20 emails a week on average.
Yeah, we've had 2 calls about your child, Dominic Padilla.
Dominic Padilla.
Did not report to class today.
Zero attendance today. Like, she's up her game. She sounds kind of annoying.
So then we can like, hey, you didn't check into school. Yes, I did. And then
The Wi-Fi went down that day.
So he was like, my teacher fixed it. Here's the text.
You need screenshots, yo. I'm just saying. I'm like 100% accountability. We know what they're doing. I know 99.9% of what they're doing when it comes to electronics. So I have everything dialed in. So when they try to say something's not working, I'm like, oh, that's funny. Here it is. You were on
It's
this
like a
other
sixth
app.
sense with him.
Go ahead, tell me.
It's Spidey sense. Last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, the boys are in the lounge. We're like, the weather's really crappy and stressful, blah, blah. You guys can stay up later and watch.
I call it a fake birthday party.
You guys can stay up later and watch TV. We're not going to worry about bedtimes tonight. And so Josh and I were in our room.
The only rule was do not go ahead.
Do not what?
Obstruct.
Oh yeah, do not obstruct the cameras because we have because of
PSA.
Yeah, because of Luther's diagnosis, which some of you know about, the reactive attachment disorder. It was advised that we get cameras throughout our house. So do not obstruct the cameras. And the one rule,
stay up till sunrise. Don't care.
Yeah, we really didn't care because it's not like I can go anywhere right now. So they put pillows in front of the camera, and so naturally we're like, "Oh, you're playing Fortnite," and Luther is not allowed to play Fortnite. Long story, but
it's for 14-year-olds, and he's 11.
He's 11, not quite emotionally. 11. We're working on that. Our goal next year to be age and grade appropriate. So we had to oh, you're playing Fortnite. No, we weren't. And they actually weren't, which was a good thing.
So so I was just sitting there watching that Palm Springs or the Sinatra one. Watching the Sinatra movie. I think,
yeah, the Sinatra thing. Josh just kind of bolts.
I was
gets up. And
it hit me. I wasn't looking at the cameras or anything. I was like, I have to check something. And so I could check that 2 minutes before I actually walked in there. He put the pillows in front of the camera, and I just somehow knew. It's like when we bought him there. I bought Luther the Nintendo Switch, and I was like, oh, I put the parental controls. It's awesome. And all of a sudden, I had to take the controls off to get the apps all set up. Well, it was super confusing because he couldn't remember his password to his email. So I took the parental controls off, and Jeff and I were doing errands all day, and I was like, we're driving down to go home. I forgot to take the parental controls off. What's going on? And so he made another profile on his device and was playing this game. So I somehow knew it. It's really weird. I'm not saying I'm proud of this. It's
really a bizarre Spidey sense that he has.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he has it
Gadget
because
dad.
the game just messes with his little mind and he becomes a jerk. He
Yeah.
really does. And according to his therapist, she's got several kids who have this same addiction.
Is it Fortnite again? She said.
Yeah. She's like, it's always Fortnite. So Fortnite's bad.
Fritz says, congrats on the renovations. So yeah, like I said, it was supposed to be this week was supposed to be like the victory lap of enjoying it, but that did not happen.
Did not happen. Well, it's kind of hard when you're throwing up. You can't paint when
The
you're
perfect
puking.
storm.
Puking in a painting.
There's some sort of show, Jackson Pollock artwork. I guess the man's watching too. Yay. All right. Well, more shout outs. Shout outs. So we'll have a new background. This was a temporary thing. So shout out to Ollie in advance because he's coming tomorrow to help us with the family because we're having this. Ooh, it's the industrial look we're going for. So we thought about painting it all flat white so it looked like it was some sort of cafe, but we decided against that because we want acoustics because you can hear the sliding glass door open 20 times a day.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then walk, walk, walk. You can hear, like in your mind, you can figure out like where everyone's at on the map of the house above you by the steps. So we're gonna put some insulation. It's gonna be dope. So besides washing your hands, if you need anything, food or shelter in the Portland metro area, let us know. We can do
please
help.
let us know. And if you're in the Portland area, like reach out to people that you think could possibly need something because people are stressed and it's scary times. We're fortunate. We are more than fortunate. So I'm grateful for so much and this guy. So be safe, everybody. Wash your hands.
If you need hand sanitizer, let me know. Watermelon. Oh,
wow.
pause. Thanks for tuning in, Facebook.
Looking for a savior to come. Looking for a city where we'll never die.
After party YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.